Hello, guys. Coming to you with Romans chapter 2. Randy Katie did a fantastic job evoking some of the thoughts and just some discussion topics because, Romans is pretty deep, guys. It really is. It's one of those things where we don't talk about it a whole lot. And so I'm really excited about this series and see if we can't really get some real discussion going. And she's absolutely right when she says, we are here for you. We want to get in discussion with you. We want to hash some of these things out, especially because, we're kind of still on this journey too. So that's one of the great things about it. So I got Romans chapter 2. Just wanted to start off by saying this is one of those chapters that I got kind of excited about because we each got to pick which ones we wanted to talk about. I wanted to do chapter 2 because it really goes into you ain't fooling nobody. And it's really cool how Paul points out to this church that he started of the hypocrisy that's going on and the fact that they are the ones that are judging wrong. They're the ones that are doing the improper things. They're the ones with the logs in their eye when they're trying to pull a splinter out of somebody else's eye. So he just flat out starts off in chapter 2 with there are no excuses for what's going on because you have the law. And you're trying to judge on this standard that you're not even living by. And isn't that the same thing that Yeshua was doing when he went into the temple and turned over some tables? He's like, you guys know better. Those are the people he got angry with. And that's what we're seeing here in Romans chapter 2, is that he's going, guys, you guys are living by this unrighteous judgment. And it's not what God had intended. It is not why the law was given. It is not what you were to live by and how you were to live. So I really love how he starts that off. And he's like, hey, you old man. And he's laying it out to him. He's calling him out on the carpet, It's really, really good because we need that too. We need that in our lives. So that really stuck out to me. He's like, no. He's being the director of camp for the Romans, just saying. Hopefully I'm living by that standard. And because we know Paul was. So it's that aspect that he is making sure they had no excuse for doing it wrong. All right. So then we get on into, verse number 6. And verse 6, he says that he will render to each according to his works. God's showing no partiality. And that's all they were doing. They're going, well, you're not of our group. Haven't we done that? Haven't some of you guys seen some of that with some of y'all's groups? Just saying. We do it based upon a calendar. We do it based upon thises and that's. And you know what? Some of these guys eat pork. Look, guys, I'm not saying eating pork is good. I'm not saying it's right. But what we're doing is we're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. When there's a lot of good people out there and a lot of new Christians out there that don't know the law. They don't know the extent of the law. And God's telling us not to show this partiality because he doesn't. He's not a respecter of persons, guys, and that's what he's laying out here. And we keep going, and on in in verse 15, he is talking about the fact that there are those that don't know the law, but they're living it out. And he says that it's written on their hearts by their works. It shows that it's written on their hearts. So why do we get so judgy when it comes to somebody doing something that we don't agree with? Well, have you talked to them about it? Have you shown them the right path? In Acts, they were dealing with that too when all these new believers are coming in. Sorry, I'm tying some different thoughts together, but it's this. There's these pictures, and we've got to go through them. The church is getting brand new people coming in all the time. They're like, what are we going to do with all these people that don't know the law? And he goes, why are y'all freaking out over this? They're going to learn Moses and the tabernacle. They're going to learn him on the Sabbath. They're going to learn these things. Let's just start out with the first couple things they need to stay away from so that we can start introducing them into what it really is to be obedient and how to fulfill that in obedience. So, we wouldn't want to take on a superior air, but we do in how we treat others and how we react when, well, that's not what the Bible says. Well, the Bible also tells us not to be respecters of people. But in Paul's opinion, in Romans here, they are being respecters of people. They're telling people, you can't be a part of this because you're not circumcised. You're not this. You're not that. You don't do this. You don't do that. When instead, what should have been happening is that they're loving on people and bringing them to the Father. So we keep going and we look and it says, you believe yourself to be superior to Yah when you divide the body and the Lord doesn't. The circumcision wasn't a defining factor that made you one of God's people. Think about this, guys. Most kids are circumcised when they're born. Just saying. Did they get to make that decision? No. The parents made that decision for them. They made that decision in hopes that someday they would have a relationship. That's how it worked for me, guys. I'm just letting you know. So when we look at this, this is an ideal opportunity for us to see that the circumcision isn't just the physical. The physical representation comes from an inward decision. That's what it needs to be, and that's where the importance needs to lie. And we keep going on in the end of the chapter with verses 28 and 29 and about the spiritual, meaningful relationship with the Father, not the fake, just outward appearance. It's not just the letter of the law. It's the spiritual aspect of it as well. Guys, we love you all, and we are not respecters of people either. Okay? We love you all, and we definitely have a heart for you. We have a heart for the Father, and we have a heart to bring people to the kingdom. So just know, you got friends in Messiah, Texas.